Hello friends, welcome back to another Piano Lessons with Joel. Go ahead and get your adult all-in-one piano course out right away and turn to page 42. We are going to get going with our warm-up on page 42. What can I share? And then we'll go over what our agenda is for today's lesson. Go ahead and get your left hand in position. We're starting with our third finger on E. Our right hand is ready with our C chord, fingers 1, 3, and 5. Here we go. 1, ready, go. Alright, in that one we're working on playing legato, smooth and connected. So we have those slur markings over the melody. First, slur markings over the left hand, and then when we get down to the third line, we see it over the right hand because that's where the melody is. How are you doing with playing legato? Again, your fingers are passing each other, going up and down so that one finger takes over, one note takes over right as the one before it is leaving off. Getting that singing like feel to it. So that there's never really a break in the sound, and careful that we don't blur our notes, blurring by holding down. Okay. We don't want to hear two notes at a time, we just want to hear the connection between the notes. Alright, so leave me a note down below. How are you doing playing legato? Go back and play 42 again, and also be sure you're singing with that. The singing will help you connect all those notes. You're going to make your piano playing sound like you're singing, okay? Because remember, when we play the piano, we are singing through the piano. Let's go on to page 43. In this one here, we're going to do our slurring. We're going to write in our chord symbols in the boxes that they provide. So let's go ahead and do that first. We'll just discuss that. I'm not going to put it on the board. So in measure 3, you should have a G7 over that chord, because that is the G7 chord. And in measure 4 there, we have a C chord. Just below that, we have the exact same thing. We have the G7, and then we have the C chord as well. So make sure you have that written in. And let's go ahead and play Day Is Done and count with me for this one. Okay, again, we're still in 3. We're working on making 3, 4 become very familiar to us. Okay, here we go. 1, right hand starts, and 2, left hand, 2, 2, and 2, 2, left hand, 1, 2. Yeah, and making your left hand connected is a little tricky with these chords. Moving those fingers, moving a lot of fingers at one time. Yeah. Careful that you don't hold any of those notes down without restriking them. That would be cheating. Yeah, it's a very quick motion. Try that one more time. Let's do it again. Back to the G7. So that's worth a little practicing there on its own. Getting that following chord to go down right after you lift from the chord before it. Let's do that one again. Day is done. Okay. Both hands in position, starting with the right hand. Again, sing this. That will help you connect the notes. That will help you play legato. All right, here we go. 1, ready, and. All right, well done, my friends. Let's move to the bottom. If the notes are different, it's a slur. Okay, as you see in their example there, we're slurring from a G to an E. If the notes are the same, it's a tie. Okay, so there you have a G to a G. Easy to see. If the notes are different, they are a slur. If the notes are the same, they are tie. All right, number 6 below. Write tie or slur in the box under each pair of notes as shown in the first box. Okay, so let's go ahead and play these examples. We'll fill in the boxes as we go. All right, so I have my right hand thumb on middle C. These are all in the treble clef, so we're going to play all of these with the right hand. Okay, starting on the first one. The first one's done for us. That's a tie. Here we go. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Next one. 1, 2. We're going to slur to an E. Next one. F. We're going to tie to the next F. Let's go on. G. We're going to tie to another G here. Let's go on. E. Slur to C. All right, I'm hoping you have all those correct there. So going for the first one's done for you, it's a tie. The second one, C to E, that's a slur. The next one is a tie. The next one is a tie as well on the G. And then the last one in that line is a slur from the E to the C. Let's do the left hand. The first one, we're starting on C, and then we go to E. That, of course, is a slur. 1, ready, and 1, 2. Slur to the E. Now go back to C. 2, 3. Tie to another C. Let's go on to a D. 2, 3. Tie to D. Let's go to E. 1. Now we're slurring up to F. And now back down to E. 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, I'm hoping you had all of them correct. The first one was a slur from C to E. The second one was a tie, C to C. Next one's also a tie, D to D. The next one after that is a slur from an E to an F. And then the very last one in the left hand there is a tie from E to E. All right, make sure you have all that filled in, and it is time to turn the page. We have done page 42 and 43 kind of as our warm-up right there. 44, we're going to introduce ourselves to A for the left hand. To find A, place the left hand in C position, reach finger 1 or your thumb 1 white key to the right. Okay, so we have our C position. We have our G, or we have our C chord. Now with this finger here, we're just going to move it up there to the A, and there it is. So before with the G7 chord, we were reaching our pinky down. Now we're reaching our thumb up to there. All right. So how about we do a little practicing? How about we play 2 and reach up to the A. Yeah. Let's do that again. So starting with C. Reach up to the A. Yeah, that's a little unorthodox fingering right there, but it's helping you get the idea of moving that thumb back and forth. Let's do that one more time, and then we'll do the exercise I have written in the book for us. Here we go. Starting with C, go. A. Nice. Okay. Let's play what's written in the book. Play slowly. Say the note names as you play. Here we go. Starting with C. How about we sing the note names? 1, 2, ready, and go. C, E, G, C, F. Move that finger over to get to the A. Now back to C, E, G. Here we go. Move your finger over, and let's repeat. C, A. Back to C, How are you making out with that? Again, singing as you're playing, everything that we're doing right now, we're trying to play legato, as connected as possible. If that was a little bit too fast for you, then practice a little bit slower and then come back to this part of the video and practice that with me with the left hand. Let's move down to the bottom. Introducing the F major chord. And again, a chord is generally when we play 3 or more notes together. We were basically playing the chord up top there, what we just did, but that was kind of arpeggiated and a broken chord. When we play a chord, we're playing the notes together. The C major chord is frequently followed by the F major chord and vice versa. So you've heard this. From C to F major, back and forth from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, just like the G7 chord, the 5-7 chord. We've heard that in all music, in all genres, basically. All right, so let's take a look at the C major chord, which we've known looks like that. Now the F major chord, in this case, they keep the C on the bottom for our fingering purposes, and we're going to move just put our second finger down as we did up top on the F and move that thumb to the A. Okay, let's go back to C. Up to F. And back to C. And to the F. All right, so at the bottom there, they want you to practice doing what we were just doing, going from the C chord to the F to the C. How about we do that? We'll play this 2 times through because there is a repeat. Again with this, if you haven't practiced this yet, then how about you pause the recording and practice, and then we'll play it together. All right, here we go. Get your hand in position. This is just your left hand for right now. 1, 2, ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, to the F chord. 2, 1. Let's do it again. 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. How'd you do? All right, are you doing okay moving that thumb up to the A? Okay, that's a bit of a stretch now. Maybe your fingers don't want to do that yet. Okay, go ahead and practice that. Take your time, and soon it will feel a little bit more natural. Let's go ahead and do it again. Let's play C to the F chord and back to C. And we'll do that 2 times because there is a repeat. Okay, play with me. 1, 2, ready, and go. 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. Again. 1, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. Let's go on to the next page. Warming up using C, G7, and F chords. Sorry to interrupt this lesson, but I have this book linked below if you'd like to get yourself a copy of that. And I have the beat bit piano note strips that we have been using to help us along the way, laying across my keyboard here. So you can scroll down once we're done the lesson and pick up those items if you wish, right from those links. Now back to your lesson. Page 45, we're going to put all the chords that we know into action now. Okay, so starting with the C chord, this is all on the left hand, all on the bass clef. We go to the G7, get ready to move that pinky down, and then we come back to the C, and then we're going to our brand new chord, moving our thumb up to the A. All right. Back to C position. 1, 2, ready, and go. 1, 2, G7. 1, 2, 1, 2. F chord. 2, 1, 2, 3. Repeat. 1, 1, C, 2, to the F chord. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. Practice slowly at first, then gradually increase speed. So that's an exercise that you can come back to every time you practice for the next few practice sessions, so that you can increase the speed there. Make sure everything is even though. Your tempo is even, meaning that your C chords and your G7 chords are the same tempo. You're not getting slower going from G or the C to the G7 or back to the C or to the F. Okay, all those have to be in tempo. Okay, there's no room for slowing down, speeding up. We need to make sure they are in tempo. When the saints go marching in, speaking of in tempo. So a couple things to discuss here. Let's talk about the pink box, and I'll show you a little bit more up here on the board. Incomplete measure. Some pieces begin with an incomplete measure. The first measure of this piece has only 3 counts. The missing count is found in the last measure. When you repeat the whole song, you'll have one whole measure of 4 counts when you play the last measure plus the first measure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the board. I'll explain this just a little bit further. On the board, I've really shortened our song to show you the first partial measure or incomplete measure here, plus the first full measure. And then over here I have the very last incomplete measure that's written in your book. So we actually begin this song on beat number 2. This is beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. Okay. And as we just read in the pink box, we stole all those beats from the very end of the song. So this is beat number 1. That's beat number 1 of this measure here. So we call this, we can call this a pickup measure. Pickup measure. We often refer to these as pickup notes. Pickup notes. And we generally refer to all of this as pickup beats. Okay, so we have three pickup beats in this first incomplete measure leading into our first complete measure. And we stole these 3 beats from the very last measure of the song. And again, beat number 1 is there. As we just read in the pink box there, when we take the repeat, we see we have a repeat sign here. You can see that at the very end of the song. When we take the repeat, we come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So essentially, when we repeat the song, the last beat of the song and the very first 3 beats of the song become one measure. So that's when a pickup works very smoothly, when we're taking that repeat that transition us back to the very beginning of the song. This is a big piece. We have right hand starting, we have left hand coming in. Look at the second line here. The second line we have on the Saints Go Marching, second line, second measure, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so we have half notes in the right hand that we should be holding out for 2 beats, and then the left hand comes in on beats 2 and 4. Listen to that again. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we go to the G7. So that part right there might deserve a little attention before you work through and play through the entire piece. If you haven't done that yet, go ahead and work on those different measures. If you've been working on this since for the last few days and you're ready to play with me, let's go ahead and do it. Remembering we start on beat number 2. Okay, so when I count off, I'll say 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so again, we start on beat number 2 because beat number 1 is stuck way down there at the very end of the song. All right, here we go. So our hands are in position, C position with both hands. Getting yourself looking ahead. Look at all those different chord changes that we have. And here we go. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. 4, repeat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. How did you make out with that? If that's a little fast for you, again, slow that down. Remembering we have tied notes. We have lots of tied notes in there, don't we? So make sure that first whole note to the quarter note, make sure that gets a total of 5 beats there. We have that particular tie a number of times, and then that second, or that measure in the end of line 3 we have a dotted half tied to a half note. That's also a total of 5 counts. Well, let's go ahead and turn the page. Let's go on. Now, introducing A for the right hand. Now, this one here, now, we're kind of doing the reverse that we were doing before, right? Because we were stretching the pinky with the G7 in the left hand. Now we have to stretch that pinky to the A with the right hand. Okay, and let's go to the, there you go, way up there. All right, so how about we do the same thing that we just did with the left hand. Let me play this for you. So I'm going to start on C and go up, and then stretch it out to A. Okay, let's do that again. Go. A. Yeah, you can give that a go a few more times. For now, let's continue on. We'll start with our C, E, and G, 1, 3, and 5. They also want you to move your third finger over to the F when we go to the F chord. So that's something we haven't done yet either. Okay, so now we're moving our third finger to the F and we're moving our fifth finger to the A. All right, let's see how that goes. That's a lot of movement. 1, 2, ready, and go. Now get ready to move your third finger over to the F. There you go. And back to the C. C. Third finger. Let's repeat. Keep it slow. Now, third finger on F. Back. Yeah, and that sets us up very nicely for the bottom of the page, where we're going to play our C chord, block chord together, and then to play the F major chord, we do need to move both of those fingers, the third, yeah, and that makes it nice and easy. You can see my third finger there, and the pinky's over here. Back to C. Okay, let's go back up to the F. And then back to C. All right, let's go ahead and do the bottom. Same thing we did the last time. So right hand C position, we're going to play C, and then we'll move to the F chord, and then back to C. Count with me. 1, 2, ready, go. C, 2. Now to the F. Back to C. Let's do it again. 1, F, 2, 3, to C. All right. Now, how about we do a two-hand challenge? This is not written into your book. We're going to just do this on the fly. So as we've done in past lessons, let's put the C and the F chord together with both hands. So it will look something like this. 2, 3, 4 to the F. 2, 1. Can you play that with me? Let's do it. Here we go. 1, 2, keep it slow and count. 1, 2, 3, F, 2, 3, back to E. Okay, keep it slow and count with me. 1, 2, ready, and C chord. 2, 3, F. Back to C. 2, 2. Repeat. Go. 1, 2. To the F chord. 2. Back to the C chord. 2. Nice. Now that may be a challenge for you. Take it easy on yourself. If you just want to play one hand at a time along with me, then do that. Let's go to the top of page 47. Same thing we did on the other page for the left hand. Now we're going to do the C chord, the G7 chord, back to the C, to the F, and back to the C. Let's do it. Right hand only. 1, 3, 5, C, E, and G. Looking ahead, getting ready for the G7 chord, and then being ready for that brand new F chord. 1, 2, ready, and play. 1, 2, 3, 1. Back to C. 2. To the F chord. 1, 2, 3, go. 1. G7. Back to C. To the F. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Again, that might be a little fast for you, so pause, do some practicing, go back and play it with me again. If it's still a little fast, slow down the video. Let's get on to our very last piece of today's lesson. When the Saints go marching in, exactly the same thing we played before, except the left hand is playing the melody, and the right hand is playing the chords. Again, we have our 3 beats of pickup, our incomplete measure at the beginning. Forte means strong. We're going to be forte here. Watch out for your ties. Count. Be ready for the repeat. Okay, and here we go. Get your left hand in position. Okay, do a little looking ahead. Okay, be aware and ready for lines 2 and 3 with those beats 2 and 4 right hand chords. Let's do it. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then we should take the repeat. We will take the repeat, but I want to show from this angle the different views of my hands playing the piano, okay? Here we go. Let's take the repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. that is it for today's lesson. Let's take a look at some of our homework for this week. Now, on page 47, where we just finished playing When the Saints Go Marching In, read the bottom part, and that will instruct you to play page 45 first, and then instead of repeating what's on page 45, turn the page. You have to quickly turn the page and play 47. So you will actually be repeating the song When the Saints Go Marching In. However, you're going to do melody in your right hand first, and then melody in the left hand as the repeat. Okay, and that'll give you a neat piece to play. Again, another part of your repertoire. I know when I was younger, when I got to When the Saints Go Marching In, that was a really big challenge for me. And when I played that for an audience of family members and so forth, that was very rewarding. That was I felt like one of my first big pieces. So you'll enjoy that. For homework, let's continue looking at page 48. There's some chord naming in there that you need to do. And we'll look over page 48 and 49, fill in those chord names and so forth. So look at 48 and 49, and then page 50 we get into G position. How about you look for a homework check from me? We'll do a homework check for page 48 and 49, and then we'll separate out and start our next lesson. Will be on page 50. So you can go ahead and look ahead and get yourself ready for all that. Go back and work on 42 as your warm-up, always continuing to work on playing legato. And then let's make sure we master When the Saints Go Marching in both your left hand and your right hand. Of course, practicing your C chord, your G7 chord, and your F chords. So now we have a lot of chords under our belt and ready to play in the key of C. My friends, thank you for joining me on today's piano lesson. As always, if you have questions, leave a comment below. Ask me a question. What can I help you with? And until our next video lesson, happy practicing. Take care.